Welcome down to the next arena where we have Pro League live for you today. My name is Valdez. Today I am joined by Moonglade. How are you doing today, man?
I am doing fantastic, Valdez. Another exciting day here at Pro League. Some great matches lined up, and we have a great view of Seoul right now.
Yeah, I actually love the fact that we've been giving these views from time to time here. As you guys probably know, if you are StarCraft fans at all, we got MVP versus Samsung Galaxy Khan here for the first match of today.
We do indeed. Should be a very interesting match. Not doing too well in the ranks so far, either team are, but a great chance today to turn it around.
Yeah, I mean, even given the rosters of these two teams, if you look at all the players, you can send them abroad, they'll do decently well, but still, they're 6th and 7th, and that just shows you the crazy amount of competition we got down here. It's pretty intense.
It really is. It's one of the best competitions in the world, if not the best. Surely the best team competition by far, and yeah, it's just so exciting to see what these teams have planned today.
Yeah, we're going to jump straight into these games pretty quickly, but let's get a look at the teams first. Over on the left, we got MVP. So far, they're 1-3 with a -6 indicator. Not the best here. They are in 7th place.
Yeah, struggling surprisingly. And there is Samsung Khan, 1-3 as well, but only a -2 in score. So a little bit better, but still a long way to go.
Yeah, that's the thing about Samsung Galaxy Khan. They've taken some really close losses, and they're just looking to get some wins. And for today, guys, the first matchup between these two teams is going to be YongHwa versus Solar in a PvZ.
Yeah, this should be a really interesting match, especially to see how Solar is going to play, known especially for his ZVP, man. And YongHwa has been struggling a bit in recent times in the same matchup.
Yeah, man, I'm actually personally a little bit excited to see YongHwa here, especially because MVP has been showing a lot of faith in this guy recently. They've been putting him out in some ace matches even, and he comes out today first. And that shows a lot of confidence. They're looking at this guy to get the ball rolling for their team today.
Yeah, to set the momentum, and he is capable of doing very well for his team. It's just about what kind of YongHwa are we going to see today. Hopefully one a little bit better than what he showed in Star League.
Yep, exactly. I mean, YongHwa, a player kind of like Marine King that we just got to look at on the left there, kind of inconsistent, and maybe some of the problems that MVP has been having so far. Choya not looking too confident. Also on the right there, before we got a look at Guilty, kind of the star for Samsung Galaxy Khan in last week's Pro League, as he was able to take out TY, bringing that to an ace match.
Yeah, that's right. And here we go. Today's matchups, YongHwa versus Solar, then Lasira versus Armani, Marine King versus Journey, Center versus Deer. Should be some very interesting matchups. All first 3 matches I'm really, really looking forward to. I feel like it could go either way. Just depends what player comes in today.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I'm not going to spoil anything just yet, but the predictions today are very, very varied. They're all over the place. People
really
have
are.
a lot of different opinions on every single matchup. I mean, some of the matchups today are pretty one-sided, but for a lot of the matchups, definitely could go either way, like you did mention before.
Yeah, I mean, looking at these matches, I feel like we could see either player win from either side. Like, there's no clear-cut winner today, except for maybe Solar versus YongHwa. If we see the Solar that won, for instance, DreamHack Stockholm, brings in that godly Zerg versus Protoss that we've come to love.
Yeah, I like what you're saying there, but let's get a look at round 1 team rankings so far. CJ Entis by far and above on top there, 4-0, the only team to not take a loss just yet. Unfortunately for them, they are tied in indicator points at the same time with SK Telecom, so if they do take a loss today, they could, in fact, fall down below SK Telecom.
Yeah, how about that? And yeah, as we see, MVP, Samsung Galaxy 6th and 7th. They got a long way to go to the top. Can Samsung maybe pull out a decent win today, get to that +1, and get into that top 4?
Yep, could definitely happen. And now taking a look at these winners rankings so far, Zest winning 2 games last week actually was able to move up to first place. Everybody was really hyping up Innovation. He was up there 4-0, which is also really impressive because he took no losses. But as for now, Zest reigns champion.
Yeah, Lenok not far behind either, which is very exciting. Someone we would definitely not expect him to be doing well already. Just out of nowhere.
Yeah, definitely very true. A lot of names up there that a lot of people may not have been expecting just yet. But guys, we're going to jump right into our interview with our 2 coaches.
MVP 그리고 삼성 감독님 만나보겠습니다. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
지금 양 팀 모두 분위기가 좋지 않으니까
We're meeting both of the teams that have only 1 win.
먼저 이영석 감독님 올리모 리그 준우승 축하드려요. 그것도 되게 강한 상대를 이겼잖아요. 어떻게 된 건가요?
Congratulations on getting runner-up in a recent league.
안 했고요. 어떻게 알고 있는지도 잘 모르겠는데.
SNS에 올리셨잖아요. 자랑하신 거 아니었어요?
He says, I'm not sure how you know about my results, and she says that she saw it through the SNS recently on the social media.
근데
He says, I was lucky it was a PvP, and that's why I was able to win.
부르시더니 커피를 사주겠다며 부르셔서 갑자기 자랑을 하셨어요. 그래서 이거는 상대방 팀을 기선제압하려고 한 건 아닌가 이런 오해를 받고 있거든요.
기웅이랑은 워낙 친해서 예전에 기웅이가 예선 결승에서 저한테 졌었거든요.
He says that, rather, she asks, you brought out Hurricane and for coffee. You wanted to brag about your results, or what was up with that?
네, 남기웅이 못하는 게 아니야. 그냥 제가 잘하는
And he says, it wasn't trying to brag. I wasn't trying to brag. Just really good friends with that guy, and brought him out for coffee because he's my friend.
Interesting.
적을 캡처해서 올리고 계세요. 그래서 많은 분들께서 송병구
Great to hear about his team.
코치님이 스스로 이제 다시 나오나 이런 예상을 하고 계시거든요.
일단 게임을 다시 열심히 한 지 얼마 안 돼가지고 좀 요즘에.
So we've been hearing that you've been practicing a lot, Stork. How is that going for you?
코치로 보는 시선이 많아서 제가 찍어서 올렸고.
I've only been playing a lot really recently,
잘 돼서 다음에는 경기에도 나와도.
but the practice is going really well.
요즘 또 제가 제보
And
받은 게
I'm putting it up on the SNS mainly because I want people to remember that I'm not just a coach, and in fact I do still play and do still do pretty well.
요즘 토토가가 유행이잖아요. 그래서 송병구 토토가 이런 거를 만들면서 추억에 젖으신 것 같다. 또 이런 얘기가 들려요.
그거는 이제 SNS에서 하나 올리긴 했는데 보다가 재밌어가지고 올린 거고요. 그냥 옛날 추억에 젖어서 올린 건 아니에요. 지금 게임단 생활이 옛날만큼 재밌기
She says,
때문에 뭐
some people have
옛날에
memories about the old
그
days
정도는 아니에요.
when you were really good playing StarCraft.
네, 두 감독님의 재밌는 인터뷰 들어보았습니다.
And Stork
과연
says-
어떤 팀이 2승을 거두고 올라서게 될지 궁금하시죠? 지금까지 아이리였고요. 중계진 나와주세요.
He says he found a funny video online from his past when he used to be really good, and that's why he uploaded it to his social media just to show his fans from long ago.
Wow, how about that? Very interesting
Pretty
interviews
funny.
today, yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I knew a little bit more about where MVP was standing today, how they're coming into this, how they're feeling. Are they confident? Are they tired? We're not entirely sure, Brandon. We got like a
not
little bit of a sneak peek backstage when we were getting our makeup and hair done, looking all pretty. They were looking pretty deflated.
Oh, yeah.
They were looking pretty tired. They were looking a little bit. The morale was low. It was dead silent in the change room. So I wonder how MVP are coming into this, how they're feeling. Are they confident? I mean, the matches on paper, they don't look too bad.
Yeah.
I feel like they could do pretty well. I feel like they can. But
Yeah.
we'll have to wait and see.
Honestly, in my point of view, I don't think they have really any reason to be that down about it. You know, like we said before, both of these teams have great rosters. And if they show up any single day, you know, if YongHwa and Marinking, if they show up today, they are two very good players, but they've got to show up. They've got to be consistent. They got to get those wins.
Yeah, especially Marine King. He has proven he's incredibly inconsistent, especially in TVT. He's had a lot of problems with that recently, looking kind of like incredibly tilted more than anything else. It comes back to me in Star League when he lost to Fantasy. Horribly.
Oh, yeah, that was honestly a bit embarrassing for all the Marine King fans out there. But right now we're going to get a look at YongHwa. So far in Pro League 2015, he's 2-0. And that's what it brings it back to what I was saying a little bit earlier on about how they're beginning to have a bit more confidence in this guy. And they send him out here once again first. But unfortunately, as you guys do see there, PVZ is not his best matchup.
Not at all. And I believe he's coming off a win from over Hero, CJ Hero, I believe, which was a fantastic win, very, very big win, especially in Pro League, beating a superstar like that. But yeah, as you were saying, YongHwa's PVZ has a lot to be desired, and he did get 3-0'd by Lenok in Star League.
Yep. And taking a look over here at Solar, the player for Samsung Galaxy Khan. He does have that downwards purple arrow. That's something we've been talking about a little bit before these games even got started. This guy, he used to be really, really playing so well, but nowadays he's just kind of fallen off a bit.
He has fallen off quite a bit. Last year was definitely his year to kind of make an appearance and just explode and do so well. Win a DreamHack, show some incredible world-class Zerg versus Protoss. But since then, I mean, I kind of feel like had a little bit too much of an online presence, which really brought him down a lot. Revealed his strategies a little too much. So we'll have to wait and see what he's going to bring today.
That we will. Well, guys, it looks like we're about to jump into our first game of the day between MVP and Samsung Galaxy Con, YongHwa versus Solar. Up here in the top of Catallena in the red, the Protoss player for MVP, it is YongHwa.
And in the bottom, we do have Solar. Recently losing to Zest on Deadwing in the last Pro League play day.
Zest able to pick up those 2 wins, so one against Solar. Not so bad. If I recall correctly, that was the ace match, actually, where Solar did come out.
Right.
And Zest came out for a second time of the night and kind of crushed him.
Yeah, it was a bit of a beatdown. Unfortunate positions, I think, for especially what Solar had planned. Solar, known for his kind of Zergling play in this matchup. He loves to go early upgraded Zerglings, goes for a lot of aggression early on, try and stop any sort of third base going down, and obviously run bys and whatnot, and really apply the pressure early. Then go into, he likes kind of like a Swarm Host, Corruptor sort of mid-game. We've seen that a lot, especially on King Sejong Station. But I wonder what Solar has planned today, especially against YongHwa, who has shown a lot of weakness, especially in base trades. Kind of Leenox showed to put on a bit of a clinic in regards to that when they played in Starling. 2 of those games ended in a base trade where YongHwa was arguably kind of ahead in some of those situations, at least one of those games. And from there, he kind of just he allowed Leenox to gain control of the map, get mutas on the map, and then just go for these hardcore counterattacks, which led to base trades. And it just seemed like YongHwa was very ill-prepared for that kind of style.
Yeah, very well said. And just going into a little bit about the map here, what do you think about these positions in terms of PvZ? You know, the Zerg down in the bottom, he is going to be expanding a bit far away from that Protoss, you know, just consistently trying to expand away from him.
Yep.
And it's not the smallest map either.
It is not. And well spotted, Valdez. It is. I definitely give this a kind of positional advantage to Zerg because they can take that third base away from the Protoss. It's a very sort of easy sort of position to defend from. You spread that creep down to the center between your 3 bases, and it gives you a great staging point to defend.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, I feel like we've seen a fight, you know, a bunch of matches actually on this map between Protosses and Zergs where the Protoss tries to go for an aggressive strategy, and just that like middle ground between the second and the third, the Zerg is just able to get like a giant concave with like Roach Hydra, and it's just like pretty hell there for Protoss if they want to attack into that. But
absolutely,
of course, we're going to have to wait and see exactly how this one turns out.
Yeah, both players playing very greedy. We did see for that Nexus first against 2 hatch before pool, so both players as being as greedy as possible in this matchup. We'll have to wait and see how it's going to pan out from here. See what YongHwa's got planned. If he's going to go some sort of all-in strategy from these kind of positions against this kind of build, or will he go for more of a late-game sort of style, which he has proven to have shown a bit weaker in.
Yeah. And just looking at like kind of the trends these days for PvZ, especially off the back of a lot of these Zest games, if you watch Zest in like the past 5 PvZs that he's played, he's going for timing attacks like all the time. He does not show that much comfortability in these late game matchups between the Protoss and the Zerg. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of other Protosses are picking up this kind of strategy and saying, okay, maybe this is the way to deal with Zerg these days. Maybe we just got to go aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, empty third Nexus, Blink Stalker roll in, super common, very, very strong, very hard to kind of scout properly, and it's not like the worst position to do an all-in from. You got a pretty easy path down to the natural of the Zerg. You have great sort of places to put down your pylons on the way. We'll have to wait and see if YongHwa is really going to be into that, though. I'm trying to think back of what exactly he did against Leenox, and I think he kind of let those games kind of play out a little bit longer.
Well, YongHwa, we've seen it time and time again. He's not the most comfortable Protoss in terms of just controlling his army. You know, back in the day, he used to just love to go kind of Stalker Colossi and just go like very, very, you know, easy to micro units, just like move your Colossi back, get a lot of good shots, decent positioning, and you'll do just fine. And I would not be surprised if he just decides to go with that kind of gameplay once again.
Yeah, Well, we are seeing 2 more gateways being added. With the sentry on the way, we'll have to wait and see if he's going to be planning to put down... Okay, it's going to be a Twilight. So we could very well see Blink Stalkers from here at Valdez.
That we could. So far, Solar, he's got a couple of Overlords in position. One is looking at the front. The other one is coming in towards the left, actually right on 630, looking for that tech. This is that timing for the Protoss to start putting down tech, and he's looking to gain the advantage by finding out exactly what it is. But
yeah, I really like the position of this Twilight too, because it's such a hard place to scout. Obviously, the Zerg will not want to try and sack the Overlord that's above the natural cliff, because you really want to see where the army is, if it's going to be moving out anytime soon. So it's pretty safe. And there's obviously sentries, enough sentries to kind of shut down an Overlord before anything gets really scouted.
Yeah.
Scouts absolutely nothing.
Very well said. I mean, on this map, as a Zerg, you're not really going to have Overlord like right in the middle there to scout that one little patch. And YongHwa's kind of identified that. He's like, okay, I'll just put down my tech here, and he's not going to be able to scout it. We saw Solar trying desperately to get the scout down, but he didn't see anything. He saw nothing.
Yeah.
He's putting down a Roach Warren, but he's making some drones. I mean, this could come pretty fast here, especially because 4 more gates are on the way, and Blink is already about halfway done.
That's right. Well, we are seeing just the beginning of Roach production now. 2 Roaches on the way. Burrow on the way as well. Lair almost finished, so he can get Roach speed pretty quickly as well. It's not a horrible position for Solar if he starts making units at nothing but right now. He should have enough to kind of stave off anything that's going to come at him directly. We are seeing a Warp Prism being made as well. This is going to hit very soon and very fast and very hard. But I feel like Solar's kind of identified something is happening.
Yeah, he's kind of caught some small thing. I mean, he sees a lot of these sentries coming in here, and he's like, okay, I haven't really seen much. I got to be careful just in case, you know. And like you said before, the Warp Prism is out now. Could go for some kind of drop. Could just use it to reinforce in his push, and that looks like what he's about to do right now.
That's right. We have about 7 gates with this Blink Stalker all in. And I believe it's not even a +1 just yet. We actually see no upgrades on that Forge, which I feel like is a bit of a mistake.
Yeah, he put down that Forge a little bit late. Not really sure if he forgot about it or if it's just kind of like a transition point if the attack doesn't go so well.
Well,
But
I mean,
we're going to have to wait and see.
Ooh. What's he got planned here? He is warping more Stalkers. I mean, if he warps, if he drops the sentries on the ramp, perhaps he can get something done. The Warp Prism going to go there now. The Blink Stalkers could actually jump to the high ground. Everything is below.
Needs to get that force field down. He does. Actually puts down a second one just in case. There's only like 3 Roaches up here on the high ground. They do have that burrow, but look at that. He's got an Observer ready for this.
Yeah.
And now Solar's got a ton of units trapped outside the base.
A ton of units trapped and incredible supply block. Look where all those Overlords. They're actually following the Stalkers. He's losing everything.
Oh, man. YongHwa's coming with a really interesting build. It's putting Solar in a really bad spot. He's got to go for a counterattack. He's sending all of his Roaches right now towards the front of this Protoss base. But right away, he keeps his Mothership core at home, puts down the Nexus Cannon. He's got 3 sentries warped in here.
Yeah, very, very smartly done from YongHwa. Great preparation and great style. Really good for these positions as well. And there's no way that he's going to be stopping these Stalkers or anything anytime soon. Claims the lair. From here, he can escape if he wants to. All he has to do is blink down.
Yeah, I mean, you take out a Zerg base, you take away that tech as well with the lair. You could even go back and defend, but for now, it doesn't even seem like he needs it. He's got 2 cannons back at home.
Yeah, while this is all happening, that counterattack is simply doing nothing. He's going to get the Roach Warren. He's going to make everything so much harder. Burrow movement will be cancelled eventually if he decides to kill it.
Oh, he just barely misses killing that, actually. And look at this, trying to break up the ramp right now with the burrow, trying to micro, coming in from the back with the drones even. But I'm not sure if this is going to be enough. That's a lot of Stalkers already.
Yeah, that is just way too many Stalkers. And not enough Roaches. Tripled economy from here. Overlord's moving up the ramp as well, which is something you never want to see. And I think we're going to see Solar tap out in a second.
Yeah. Look at his face. He is entirely pissed with this whole thing. Just a really nice style out of YongHwa. Really nice build, especially for the map. Really well done.
Yeah, really well executed. Fantastic play. Really well prepared as well. I love the positioning of that Twilight and that Robo. I mean, Solar had no idea. And then he moved those Roaches down the ramp at the wrong time. GG.
GG. Really got to hand it to this guy so far. He is 3-0. He did not have the best results in last season of Pro League, but so far, he is showing that he can actually come in time and time again for MVP and take wins.
Yeah, really impressive play. Great execution. It was really just perfect preparation from YongHwa. Fantastic to see, and already we have an upset today.
Yeah, man. We were actually talking about this game before the match even started, and I was kind of on the fence, but you said Solar all the way. You led me down the wrong path, Moonglade.
I'm sorry, Brandon. I'm sorry, Valdez.
I'm just messing with you. It's totally fine.
No, I mean, on paper, like I like to look at the statistics. I like to look at the recent results, and Solar is usually the safe bet in this situation. But YongHwa, playing his A game today.
Yep. Really liking that play, and putting him out here first is really nice because, like we mentioned before, gets him that momentum. And we're going to be going into Losira versus Armani, and I have to favor Losira in that matchup as well.
Absolutely. I definitely did the same. Losira looking fantastic recently. He's kind of just like Lenok in recent times, just showing these great games, coming out of kind of like nowhere and just playing some amazing games. Very, very excited for this match.
Yep. As you did mention, guys, ZVZ coming your way in just a few moments here. As is the way of Pro League, we take a break after the second game. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be jumping right into this one in just a second. Marine King about to set up in the booth here after YongHwa.
That's right. Marine King versus Journey will also be a very interesting game after this one. And there's Solar looking a bit disappointed. Not having the best run this year, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, as we mentioned before, we do the indicator arrows just based on Pro League results. And recent times in Pro League, he's 0-5, but he's also not doing that great in other leagues as well.
No, he's not. He's